legacy will be death and madness.
Stood up. A man with no fear.
Hang on to your hats, folks, because you ain't seen nothing yet.
It's you. It's really you. He's still dead. I know he's still dead. You promised them, Jerome.
We are all
Jerome.
It's still a little fuzzy.
Where's my face?
What's that? This guy's hilarious. So, how's it look?
It looks good.
Tonight, Gotham, there are no rules. Do what you want. Kill who you want. You too shall be reborn.
Reports of a riot growing on the west side, as well as widespread looting uptown.
It's not just the cult anymore. Ordinary citizens are taking Jerome's cue. Get those freaks in the cages! You know where Jerome is? Where is he?
Look around! He's everywhere! You don't want to miss what happens next. What do you say, Bruce? Want to have some fun before the main event? Let's turn that frown upside down.
You want to kill someone? Let's get on with it.
Shall we end the night with a bang? Or better yet, a boom?
Ready?
Not really. Face it, kid. Gotham has no heroes. Brucey. You want to be a hero? Play out!
What's going on, guys? So, man, was that trailer freaking crazy, am I right? Anyways, as always, as we do on this channel, I am about to go in very in-depth, especially with this trailer, and talk about this next upcoming episode. Now, if you saw that trailer, there is a lot that happened in it. The freaking, if you saw when they tweeted about it, I think Cameron Monaghan has actually tweeted out this video, and that's where I saw it. He said huge spoiler warnings or whatever. So, as I'm about to go in depth, like I said, huge spoiler warnings for this episode, but I think a lot of you guys actually watch my videos for the in-depth analysis. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. Now, you might think this whole trailer was just Jerome, or Jerome versus Bruce, but when you slow it down, there was actually a few other things that were happening, and I want to talk about those things first before we go into the very killing joke heavy part of this video. So let's go ahead and talk about the little things that I saw first. And if you're like, whoa, where the hell did that come from? It's at the very end of the trailer where everything is just going a million miles a second. That is where all this stuff comes from. I went ahead and took the liberty of taking screenshots of it so you can actually see the photos because they were literally like that. First thing I want to talk about is this man right here who totally looks like it's going to be Gordon's uncle. And the reason why I think it's going to be Gordon's uncle, because one, I don't know who the hell this guy is, and two, there is a shot of somebody holding their ring, which looks very similar to the one Gordon's dad had, and he was like, this is the family crest or whatever. So I'm going to assume that that is going to be Gordon's uncle, aka the person I think is running the Court of Owls. There's that little storyline going on there, and then the next thing is actually the Penguin Riddler storyline, because that is actually going to come to an end, I believe, as well in this episode. And from right here, you can see this screenshot of it looks like Nigma about to freaking put a bullet in Penguin's head, but that is not the case, because if you really slow down this clip, you can actually see that he pulls the trigger and Penguin flinches, but there's nothing that goes off. His head doesn't get blown up or anything like that. I think Edward is just freaking tricking him because you know he wants to play mind games with him, so he thought he was going to put a bullet in his brain, but he actually doesn't. It's just a gun with no ammunition in it. The thing with Penguin is we see him tied to this car right here, and you can see him tied up, and if you look closely to this actual photo right here, there's a little bit of like flame or like, how do you say, like smoke coming off where his legs are. And if you go to this photo right here of Penguin from a different angle of him being tied to this car, you notice that there's actually this barrel up here. And the reason why I know it's a barrel is because if you look at this photo, there is a barrel hanging from the ceiling. It's the same barrel. It's just a corner shot right here above Penguin on top of this car that he's tied up to. And in that barrel seems to be acid, because when you drop acid, it lends off a freaking steamy substance on metal or whatever. So I think Ed is just fucking with Penguin again. He's all like, oh, I'm gonna let you die slowly with acid. And if you remember, Edward said, he was like, yo, I'm at Kane Chemicals, come help me, they got me over here. So it only makes sense that there is acid at this Kane Chemicals place. So Nigma is gonna freaking tie up Penguin and do the whole acid dripping thing to just fuck with his brain because he thinks he's gonna die by acid or whatever. And so I don't know, I want to say that the gun thing is actually going to happen before the acid thing, but we'll see what Edward's got all, you know, tied up in there. No pun intended. Before we move on, there's two other shots that I'm really interested in that I saw in that whole little thingamabop, and it's this one of Penguin being really scared. I think it might be, actually, this is when he first meets Ed, and he's all like, you're not in trouble, and Ed tells him the whole thing about, like, I want revenge and blah, 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 and he's just gonna fuck with him the whole episode, and I think that's what this is from, just Penguin's shock of, like, you know what, I loved you, I can't believe I was doing all this for you, and blah, 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 like, I can't believe you're betraying me like this, although technically he has every right, because Penguin, you fucked him over first, but you know what I mean? So I believe there's that, but then this is the one I'm kind of confused about. Who is Butch holding a gun to? Maybe Butch is with Nigma, and that's what I was kind of thinking, that maybe Butch is with Nigma and that he's like, maybe he's got the gun pointed at Penguin, but I don't think it's the case. I think Nigma is going to actually be doing everything on his own, but remember, Tabitha wanted Nigma dead. So, it's possible that freaking Butch is going to try to kill Nigma after he does whatever he does to Penguin, and that is what this scene is right here, because if you look in the very corner, it looks like there's a small shoulder or somebody of whoever he's pointing the gun at, and it could possibly be Nigma and be like, bitch, you cut my girl's hand off, so now you gonna die. Also, remember how I was saying that freaking Penguin is more than likely gonna kill somebody on this episode? I might be actually totally wrong, and the blood that I was saying that was on his hands, because he was talking about how he had a very interesting day or whatever, and he showed a photo of his hands all bloody, it might be that he actually got stabbed or shot because of this photo right here. You see somebody putting a lot of pressure on their freaking stomach or chest or whatever, and there's blood coming out, so he's probably got shot or stabbed. And the reason why I think it's Penguin is because the suit kind of has that weird texture that Penguin always wears in his suit, but the main giveaway right here, I think, is this rope around the wrist, because it's the same type of rope that they are using on the tying him to the car. So I think that is Penguin right here that is being shot or stabbed, and it would make sense because of those photos he released, you know, on his Instagram or Twitter or whatever. He had blood on his hands, so it could be from holding all the blood into his guts or whatever. So it is very possible that Nigma is actually going to stab Penguin or something and let him die slowly, because, you know, that's probably the worst way to die. Okay, those are pretty much all the other characters that will have storylines in this episode that are not Jerome, Bruce, Gordon, and Alfred. So we're gonna go ahead and just move on and talk about all that. But the one thing I will say is a lot of Gordon's storyline is going to be dealing with the chaos that is this Joker purge that is happening. And, you know, the city's lost all its powers, so there's going to be riots. And he said it's not just Joker fanatics that are getting in on the trailer says it's not just Joker fanatics that are getting in on all this craziness. It's normal people too that are following Jerome's words of just do whatever the hell you want. So, you know, GCPD is going to have its hands full. We see that there's a freaking riot happening inside of GCPD with all these lunatics, and everybody's just kicking ass and trying to beat people up and throwing them in jail and stuff like that. So this episode is going to be super chaotic. Gordon's all like, where the hell's Jerome? And, you know, his followers are like, look, just look around. We are Jerome, blah, 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 blah. Dodging fireballs and shit. This episode is going to be chaotic. But you can also see that, as always, freaking Gordon is going to be the reason why Bruce gets saved, or because Alfred's going to be like, they took Bruce, or, you know, he came to the thing. We know that Jerome is going to Wayne Manor, and you can see it from this clip right here and this clip right here. There's like, I don't know, I believe not Gordon, but Alfred probably has a shootout with the freaking Jerome peeps, and they take Master Bruce away from Wayne Manor. And you can see that, like I said, there's just gunshots and firing happening here at Wayne Manor. So that is what's going to happen. Alfred, of course, is going to go to Gordon. He's going to be like, they took Master Bruce, blah, 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 blah. We need to save him. Which will lead the GCPD and the strike force to go to wherever this carnival is at, which looks to be at like some type of chemical plant. And that is where the, you know, lighting of the bomb and the holding of freaking Bruce Wayne captive is going to come to an end, because you can see right here, if you slow down this image, that there's actually police officers coming in and fighting all of these crazy people in this circus ring. And there's also these scenes right here of Gordon and them on the actual premises of this carnival, and they're just kicking ass and shit. So it just makes sense that Gordon is going to be the reason why Bruce escapes. I mean, he might not save him, because you gotta remember, he still fights Jerome at the end of this trailer. So what I think is gonna happen is Gordon and all the cops showing up is going to be a distraction that will at least allow Bruce to escape somehow, or they will be the reason why, you know, he gets released and he's all like, I gotta take care of this or whatever, and he goes after Jerome and something like that. But I think Bruce will actually get out on his own opposed to them saving him, because I don't see Gordon or Alfred allowing Bruce to go fight Jerome on his own. So I think Bruce is actually going to have to escape by himself. I think Gordon and the cops just showing up are going to be the reason why he's able to escape, because he looks pretty dead to rights here. But of course, he's motherfucking Batman. Now, before I start getting into all of the Killing Joke references, I want to say that this episode is very, like I said, Killing Joke heavy, but they did kind of pay a little bit of homage to a very classic Batman thing that I love. We see Jerome right here lighting this big old bomb, which I think is going to be where, you know, Bruce is like all tied up and shit. He's lighting this big bomb, or he's going to do something with that bomb. Of course, it's going to get put out somehow, because I don't think there's going to be any big explosions. But that's a very classic Batman thing, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, in movies, in shows, in everything, they just always use this classic big round bomb for Batman, and if you don't believe me, just check out these two clips.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
I never get enough of that Batman 66 clip, but you know what I mean. So it's very cool that they're doing this big round bomb, and it wasn't the first time they did it. They did a very similar one at the end of season 2 with the whole bomb that they put out with water, which let's not get started with that, because I thought that was so stupid. But you know, I thought that was kind of cool. So, you know, we've seen this big round bomb before, and it's kind of like just like that Batman Forever movie with Robin, where he takes the bomb away. You see that Two-Face in that one is the ringleader at a circus. They kind of just took that and made the Joker, or Jerome, the ringleader this time around. But it's cool, like you can catch those little things from other past Batman comics or movies that they're kind of doing in Gotham. And that's what I think this show should have always been doing from the start, instead of trying to make it like, oh, let's make it a cop drama with some cartoon freaking Batman elements. Like, I think they should have always done something like this, because I think it's the bread and butter of the Batman universe. Anyway, so I thought that was cool, a little homage, but let's talk about some of the cool stuff I've caught in the whole circus area arena. Now, this first thing I caught, some of you guys sent it to me before I even got to watch this trailer, but it's this photo right here, or I should say this clip right here, of a girl with pigtails, and everybody's all like, oh my god, is this Harley Quinn? We've already said that Harley Quinn is coming out on the season finale of Gotham Season 3. So no, I don't think this is Harley Quinn, but it could be a little like homage to her, because I mean, if their freaking design team or their costume team was this clever, I want to give them a little props. But yes, there are the pigtails, but if you look very closely, on one side is a red dart and on the other side is a blue dart, which is very similar to the pigtails coloring of the Harley Quinn that is currently in the Suicide Squad movies. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's like, oh, I see what you did there. Each pigtail has a freaking color in it. Very clever. But if you didn't think about that, not so clever. I thought about it. So, I'm just kidding. I'm pretty sure there are some Batman fans in working on Gotham, because I really hope so, because this is pretty badass. But yeah, this is the first one everybody's like, oh my god, is it Harley? I don't think it is. It could be a little homage to it, like I said, especially if the darts are actually just kind of like, oh, that's a nice little placement there. So that could be an homage to Harley Quinn right there, but remember, she's not coming in until the season finale. The next thing got me really excited, because I don't know if it's true or not, but just look at this drop a punk thing that they got going here, right? I'm gonna slow down the clip a lot and freeze frame it right here. But if you guys have ever seen the Mad Love episode from the Batman animated series, you know that freaking it's all about Harley Quinn trying to capture and get rid of Batman for the Joker, because he's been so down or whatever, and he's all like, he needs to find this new plan to make, you know, to defeat Batman finally, and Harley Quinn takes it upon herself to do everything herself and show the Joker, like, we can finally get rid of Batman, because she just wants to move on with their love life or whatever. In that scene, she has piranhas, and she's gonna drop Batman into a thing of piranhas, and that's how they're going to kill him. One thing about that episode was that the reason why Joker never did this plan himself is because he wanted the piranhas to actually smile when they kill Batman. But what Harley did was hung Batman upside down. That way, when he's looking at him, it looks like they're smiling. Very clever on her part. But anyways, so, one thing that you know if you've ever watched the Batman animated series is freaking Joker has this thing about smiling fish. Like, it's just like a gag that he does because he throws his toxin in water or whatever, and it makes the fish look smiley or whatever. I think right here, if you pay attention, these piranhas look like they have red around their mouth, like they're supposed to be smiling, and I can't tell because it's very, I don't know, like if you look really closely, one of these fishes have red and white on them. Like, what kind of fish have red and white like that and blue? But it kind of looks like these fish might have red around their mouth like the Joker lipstick. And if that is the case, like if they have a close-up shot of this and these fish are the smiling Joker fish, Gotham, you the shit. Like, I would have never thought I would have saw the smiling Joker fish in anything besides the cartoon. But dude, if this is legitly going to be the Joker fish, I'm gonna lose my shit, because that is awesome. And they destroy this guy. They kill him. Like, they just tear him to shreds. So this dude is gonna get killed by these piranhas. But man, if it is a smiling Joker fish, like, that is the shit. Now, let's go ahead and talk about all of the Killing Joke stuff. Now, if you don't think that there is that much Killing Joke stuff in this episode, let me go ahead and just kind of prove you wrong there, because look at all these screenshots I got from the animated Killing Joke. I didn't want to go pull out my freaking comic book and photo scan everything, but it was a pretty good adaptation from the comic book to the thing, minus the whole Barbara Gordon, you know, fucking Batman kind of shit. But the whole Killing Joke part was actually pretty well done. And so I went ahead and got screenshots from that movie, the animated one, and compared it to this, and they are very, very similar. So check this out. Am I right? Look at all the freaking similarities between both of these damn things. Like, they are paying huge homage to the Killing Joke in this episode. I think it's freaking awesome, but you have the carousel, you have the freaking clown face that Batman walks into. They have it in this episode. Of course, you have the hat. He's definitely using the whole hat that, you know, the Joker's using in this thing. You have the damn mirrors. The mirrors is the biggest giveaway when it comes to this Killing Joke homage, because you have it right here with Batman. Of course, they're reversing Batman with Jerome, but then you also have freaking Bruce showing himself in all of the mirrors going after you know, Jerome here, and it's just pretty awesome. Now, of course, they're fighting in the actual mirror building, which is pretty cool. The Killing Joke comic ends out differently. They don't really fight in the mirror thing, but I think it just visually for TV made more sense for them to fight in here. And you can even the gun, like he even has the same gun in here for, he's using the same style of gun to hunt down Batman. Of course, in the comic book and the animated show, it's actually like a bang bang with it's like a bang bang freaking flag gun, and it's not a real gun. This one seems to be a real gun where he's trying to kill Bruce, because you can see with this one scene right here where he shoots, it looks like, I think he thinks he sees Bruce and he shoots at him, but it's actually Bruce trying to play tricks with the mirrors, and he shoots one of the mirrors thinking it's Bruce, but it's actually not him, and it shatters him because you can actually see Bruce running away from there. So a whole bunch of Killing Joke things, and now a bigger one that is not in the Killing Joke, but it is like paying homage to it, and it's something that had a lot of controversy around, was this scene right here in the trailer. You see Jerome putting the smiling blood on Bruce. You see that? It looks pretty cool. Well, if you guys don't know where that is from, it's from this variant comic of Batgirl that came out during the 75th anniversary of Joker. If you guys don't know, when it was the 75th anniversary of Joker, he was like, he did, I don't know how many variants they had. They had like 20 variants of all of their different comic books, and each one had a Joker variant to celebrate his 75 years. I bought a bunch of them myself. But it was like a whole month. Like a whole month they were just having like 5 different Joker variants each Wednesday or whatever. But one of them was very controversial, and it didn't even come out, which just, it sucked because I wanted that cover the most, was this cover right here of the Joker from the Killing Joke putting the smiling blood on Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl. And this was like a huge controversy. Which again, I had no problem with it, because I think that the Killing Joke storyline is a huge freaking part of Batgirl's legacy. And so, like, I thought this comic cover was freaking badass, and I wanted to own it. But a lot of people had a problem with this, because with the Killing Joke, there's this big controversy around how people interpret the comic. And what they think is, when Joker, if you saw the animated short, or if you actually read the Killing Joke, you know the Joker, you know, strips down Barbara Gordon, and she takes photos and shows them to her father in the carnival thing, and everybody, there's this big controversy. A lot of people think that when that happened, a lot of people are like, he raped her or whatever, and he did all of this when he shot her. And like, I personally don't think the Joker raped Barbara Gordon. Did he sexually assault her, like by just taking off her clothes and taking photos of her? Yes, that files under sexually assault. Do I think he was all like, what's up, Barbara, and did all of that stuff? I don't think the Joker did that. I don't interpret the comic that way, but some people say that's how they read the comic, that, you know, he literally like rapes her and then takes photos of her. So there was this huge controversy, and everybody's like, how could you do that? And at the time, they were reinventing Batgirl. They were going to make it a little bit more poppier, because like the new 52 Batgirl was pretty dark, but they were going to go ahead and change it and make her more like bright and uppity. So it was just bad timing, I thought, personally, because they were trying to reinvent Batgirl. It was the 75th anniversary, and it was this thing where it's like, a lot of people say it's Batgirl's worst moment because she literally gets paralyzed and she's no longer Batgirl. So that comic book cover never saw the light of day, which, you know, like I said, I really wanted to own that. I thought it was a beautiful cover. I thought it paid homage to a really classic story. But, you know, everybody, you know, sometimes it's just easier to put controversy aside and be like, let's not do that. I kind of wish they would have, because, like, I don't know, it's just, it's part of the character. Like, Batgirl is a super strong character. She came back from that and showed that she's, you know, I think she might be Batman's best pupil. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's Dick Grayson and all this stuff. Batgirl gives the boys a run for their money, and she's had one of the crazier storylines. So, I don't know. we can talk about that forever, but it was cool to see them pay homage to this because, like I said, that cover never saw the light of day. So unless you knew about the controversy or you've seen that cover somewhere, like on Twitter or on Instagram, you know nothing about it. But I thought that was pretty cool, and it's just crazy for, you know, it would be definitely something the Joker would do. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty nuts and pretty awesome for Gotham to go ahead and do something like that. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the big fight. The one thing everybody wants to see, because we believe that this is going to be the point where Bruce realizes that he needs to do more and he needs to become Batman, or he needs to take those steps to be the person that Gotham is going to need. I think this is going to be the turning point. It's the perfect time. There's a winter finale coming up. We're not going to have Gotham for like almost 3 months. So this is a perfect time for Bruce to take some time and actually do something. So it's going to be pretty interesting. So I think going through this whole thing with the Joker is going to be his turning point. And remember, a lot of you guys always are like, I can't believe they're doing this. It's too early for Harley. It's too early for this. Remember this, guys. Gotham is doing it differently. And I don't mean just because like they have baby Bruce, so they have to do it differently. The way they're doing it is the villains create Batman, not like the comics that have Batman create the villains. Because in The Killing Joke, you see that Batman shows up, tries to stop the Joker when he's the Red Hood. You know, he falls into the vat, and that is why he just has this thing to go against Batman all the time. And it's like Batman literally created him because he fell into the vat. Batman was there, bada bing, bada boom. This time around, freaking Jerome is showing that he can take over the city, he's going to cause chaos, and he is going to create Batman because Bruce is going to realize that there needs to be good to fight all of this evil. But one thing you guys might have not caught in this trailer where they're duking it out and they're punching each other and they're breaking glass and it just looks like Bruce is beating the living hell out of Jerome. And no, I don't think he's dead, guys. A lot of people were sending me this clip right here of Jerome just having the shit beat at him. They're like, oh my god, they're gonna kill Jerome again. Oh, I can't watch this show no more. Jerome's gonna die. Chill out. They're not gonna kill Jerome again. Like I said, you can't have Harley Quinn without a Joker. And if this show is stupid enough to make Jerome a copycat, like the Joker is going to show up and there's going to be a new guy that's the Joker and he wants to copy Jerome, you instantly kill the Joker's legacy because the Joker doesn't copy anybody. The Joker is his own person. So if he's not going to have anybody, he's not going to copy somebody's whole persona. So Jerome is the Joker. In this damn trailer, they say this Joker is this freaking lunatic's gonna leave a legacy. You saw all of the damn freaking text that was on there. They literally used the word the Joker. The last episode had a Joker card on there. This dude is the Joker. Stop, you know, that all of that producers like, well, maybe he's not. Shut up, producers. You know he's the freaking Joker. But if you guys needed any more freaking clues to think that he is the Joker, well, check this out. Bruce doesn't really have his one rule yet, right? He doesn't know that. He had the chance to kill Matches Malone, but he didn't do that, you know, and he hasn't really created his no gun rule yet or anything. He hasn't had those iconic Batman things, but his one kill rule, right? That is the one thing that separates Batman from the Joker. And the Joker's one reason is to have Batman break that rule. If you guys didn't pay attention to this, and I listened to it a few times, but at the end of this trailer, Jerome literally says that burp. He doesn't burp. He says, that's it, let it out. Referring to Bruce kicking his ass, like he's all like, that's it, let it out. He wants the crazy and anger to come out of Bruce because he wants the good people of the world to freaking realize that there are no heroes. But what's gonna happen is Bruce is gonna beat the shit out of Jerome, like he always, like Batman would. Bruce is gonna beat the shit out of Jerome, and he's going to stop, and he's going to say something like, you know what? There are heroes in this world, and blah, blah. And he's like, I'm gonna show you that. Or he's gonna say something along those lines that is kind of cheesy, but always badass when you hear a hero say it. And he is going to show that he is going to be the savior of Gotham. They are not gonna have Bruce kill Jerome. They will not do that, because then this whole show will just go to shit. You would have just killed your Joker character and you would have had Batman start killing people. Just because in Zack Snyder's film Batman killed people, it's not okay to have baby kid Bruce kill people, okay? They're just not gonna do that. So, that is pretty much all of the craziness that is going down in this episode, guys. I just wanted to point out a lot of this stuff because I thought it was pretty badass. If you guys caught some other things that maybe I didn't catch, do let me know in the comment section down below. A lot of you guys asked me from the last video what I thought of Cameron Monaghan's performance as Jerome. Thought it was awesome. I was all caught up in like just how much I called in that episode. I know a lot of people were like, oh yeah, but can you talk about the episode? Completely slipped my mind, guys, because I was just so excited about that episode. I loved it. I thought he was badass. I loved the whole scene with him and Lee. Thought that was great. So I just wanted to give that reference and that acknowledgement in this video, as along with everything else that we were talking about. So yeah, there you go. I wanted to give this in-depth video for this because it was very Killing Joke heavy and I saw a lot of cool things in there. But I figured like a lot of people might not catch that that's it, let it out, which is very, very Joker and very Batman. Like, he just always wants Batman to snap, and Batman always has to be the bigger person to just show him, like, I'm not like you, Joker. I'm going to be better. I'm going to show you that the system works. Although, technically, Batman is always outside the system. He just doesn't kill people. But that is it, guys. Let me know what you thought of this video by giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with all your Gotham buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, I'm your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Have I had my daily dose of juice? See you guys next time. Bye!